Okay, so welcome to the group coaching program, Release the Weight That Holds You Back. How to get the most out of this group is to just show up and try the exercises. I encourage you to have a beginner's mind. Um, so even if you've tried something before, maybe just give it a chance. Um, and trust that you're going to find your own way through this. Try not to think, oh, I've done this before, it's definitely not going to work for me, because maybe there's a little tweak that can help it actually work for you this time. So just have a beginner's mind and try things, show up to the live meetings as you're able. If you're not, just watch the recordings and do the exercises. I just want to say that I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do, exactly what to eat, and how to move. What I will do is guide you to discovering those things for yourself. And I will be giving you ideas, tips, and tricks that have worked for me and that work for many people. But it's up to you what exactly you do with those things. I'm here to be your guide, sometimes your coach when that's needed, and always your cheerleader to be here to support you as you go and as you make the choices that help you make the most out of this group and reach your health goals. Something about weight is that it's often a defense mechanism, or it's related to a defense mechanism. It's not our enemy. We gained it to protect ourselves, sometimes because of hormonal issues that we didn't quite understand. So we'll be learning about hormones, and we will be learning about how to let go of our defense mechanisms so that we don't have to be holding on to so much weight, because it has it has been something that's protected us in the past. So now it's time for a story. I'm going to share with you guys the story of the sun and the north wind. It's one of Aesop's fables, and it takes place many, many years ago. The sun and the north wind were talking to each other about which one is the strongest, which one is the most powerful. And they were arguing back and forth. And the north wind said, well, I'm the most powerful because I can blow things away and lift up leaves and dust. And so it's obvious that I'm the most powerful. And the sun said, well, I'm the most powerful because without me, plants can't thrive and people can't live. So it's obvious that I am the most powerful. And as they were having this conversation, a man walked by with a heavy jacket, walking down a path in the mountains. And so the sun and the wind decided that they were going to use this man to prove which one is the most powerful once and for all. The wind said, well, I'm going to show that I'm the most powerful by getting that man to take off his bulky jacket. And the sun agreed to this. So the wind tried and went down there and blew and blew and blew and blew up all the dust and the leaves. And the man hung on to his coat even tighter, wrapped it around him even more. And the wind started gripping at the corners of the coat and really doing his utmost to take that jacket off. But of course, the man just clung to his jacket even more, and none of it worked. So the wind went back and said, oh, well, I guess it's your turn. If I couldn't do it, you definitely won't be able to do it. And then the sun opened up and just started shining in gentleness and kindness. And that man, he started to get a little warm. He started to get sweat on his brow and sweat on his upper lip, and he released his grip on that jacket more and more as time went on. And the sun, it didn't even effort, really. It was just being. It was shining in kindness and compassion. And the man continued to get sweaty and hot, and eventually he took off that jacket and he dropped it to the ground. He just released it and he sat down under the shade of a nearby tree. And it became really clear that the sun actually was the most powerful, that kindness and gentleness and compassion and warmth actually were stronger than this harsh blowing and constant harassment. So I encourage you as we go through this program to remember this story and to think about how you can be more like the sun. How can you shine on yourself from within with kindness, with compassion, with self-care, so that that warm jacket you're holding on to, your weight, can just start to release easily and it doesn't feel like this battle of, oh, you have to do this, you have to not eat any carbohydrates, or you have to only eat carbohydrates and no fat, or whatever it is. Think about how you can be more like the sun and shine on yourself in compassion so that this can be easy and joyful as we go. And right now we're going to do a 3-minute free write. I will set a 3-minute timer. So I want you to just pick up your journal and brainstorm about this question. How can you be more like the sun? How can you bring deep compassion, care, and love to yourself, even as you learn habits that help you to have more energy, and even as you learn how to start releasing some of the weight that you have wrapped around you like a jacket? So 3 minutes, I'll put it on the timer. And either journaling or thinking about it, but ideally taking time to journal, because then you can look back on it after this meeting. We have about 1 minute and 50 seconds left. Continuing to think about how you can shine like the sun so that it feels easy to let go of the extra weight. Deep self-care practices. What kind of self-care practices do you enjoy to help you feel held and supported as we go through this? What are some things that make you feel really loved and supported and warm inside that you want to make sure that you take time for in the next few weeks? Taking 30 more seconds to think about this question, to jot down any final thoughts. Okay, that's our time for our free write. So we will move on, but we'll have other times to free write as we go. So we're going to start at the beginning. And I want you to think about your food story. Some of you have had one-on-ones with me and you've shared some of your food story. I will share mine to give you an idea of what this can sound like and look like. And as you think about your food story, I want you to pay special attention to the times that felt like you had more peace with food, where it felt easier. And think about what was going on at those times. And also think about your whole journey with your relationship with food, almost like it's an intimate partner, because it sort of is. So with my own food story, um, I've loved food from the very beginning. My mom would say that I was a pretty ravenous baby. I loved eating. Um, and when I was 8 years old, my family moved from Bulgaria to the United States. And I grew up in communist Bulgaria where food was pretty simple. We had access to like meat, vegetables, potatoes, bread. Um, we had chocolate, but nothing like the amount of food that's present here in like grocery stores, like chips or cereal. I had never been exposed to that. So when we moved to the United States, and I didn't have any friends and I was lonely, I didn't know the language. When we first moved here, I was still learning English. So every day after school, I would comfort myself by watching cartoons and eating whatever we had in the cupboard. But I loved Lucky Charms and like all the chips. I'd never had those before. We didn't have those in Bulgaria. Um, so that was the beginning of my, I guess I'd say, um, conflict with food because I didn't like how I felt afterwards. But on some level, it was comforting to me because it was a hard time in my life. And then at some point, I decided I wanted to lose some weight. I was getting pretty pudgy every day. I was eating a lot after school. So then I made a commitment to eat healthier. And in middle school, I started to get healthier. I joined cross country and swim team. And I got so busy with exercise and getting ready for college that um, I didn't think about food as much. I would eat food, but it wasn't an issue with for me very much in high school. Um, I had a purpose. I was trying to get into good colleges, trying to do a lot of activities, staying busy with academics. Um, so that was a time when I had more peace with food. I was arguably kind of addicted to activities because I was doing so many different things like swimming and speech and debate. But food felt easy at that time. And then I went to college where I didn't know anyone again and had to start over. And the food issue came rushing back in. And college was a really difficult time for me with food. Um, and it kind of went off and on like that for a few years. And then I had a lot of success in my 20s after we had our two boys going on a ketogenic kind of way of eating. I wasn't primarily even doing it for weight. I was doing it to clear a candida infection that I had developed. But at that time, the weight just came off so easily. Um, and I was mainly eating like meat and vegetables at that time and not even fruits or potatoes, really trying to clear the candida. Um, and so my blood sugar was really stable with the foods I was eating. But then we did a family trip to Italy, and I decided that meat was hard for me to digest. So I started eating carbs again, and we were in Italy, and that combination led me to go back into a lot of cravings. And um, yeah, since then, I haven't really been able to figure out how to be a vegetarian. I hadn't been able to figure out how to be a vegetarian and to not have cravings until I learned about intermittent fasting. So that's that's where I'm now, where I'm using intermittent fasting and some other strategies to really support myself in having a positive relationship with food. And I was able to release over 70 pounds in 6 months once those things kind of came together. Um, So that's my food story from the beginning and some of the things that helped. So um yeah, what I take away from my high school time that I had more peace with food is that exercise is really helpful for me, and having a purpose is also really helpful for me. And for my keto time, having balanced blood sugar is really helpful for me. So now it's your turn to think about your own food story, going going back in your history, where it started, and also thinking about the periods where you've had more peace with food and what was going on, um, what was supporting you in having more peace with food. So we're going to do a 5-minute free write. Um, and I'll set the timer and you'll have a chance to think about your food story, focusing especially on those times when you had more peace with food, and starting to make some connections in your own mind of what do you really need to support you in having long-term peace with food as you think about your food story. So go ahead and get started thinking, writing for 5 minutes. And even if you've done this before, I encourage you to do it again, because new insights can come up as you think about your history with food. Three minutes left. We're at 1.5 minutes, so starting to think about wrapping up your thoughts. 30 seconds. Wrapping up your writing. Okay, that's time for this free write. Move on to the next section. So next we're going to think about where you want to get to from here. What is the next part of your story? The story that you started writing out or thinking about just now. And it's really important for us to be able to believe that change is possible. So when you think about it, would you try to hike a mountain if you really didn't think that you would be able to do it? Would you put a lot of effort into it? Probably not. You might kind of start on it, but you probably wouldn't work hard at it if you didn't think it was possible. And it's the same with our goals. It's important to believe that it's possible for us to create a change in our lives. So we're going to do a progressive relaxation exercise. And some of you have done something similar to this with me. But I want you to get comfortable wherever you are, either sitting or lying down. Just make sure that you can hear me. And we're going to relax the body and then visualize your ideal reality. So as you're sitting or lying down, I just want you to imagine that there's a wave of relaxation starting with your toes and moving up your feet and to your ankles, relaxing every part of your feet and ankles, and then relaxing your calves and shins, your knees, your upper legs, feeling your legs getting heavy and relaxed. As the wave of relaxation moves up through your hips, into your lower abdomen and lower back, relaxing all the organs in your gut area and moving up to your upper abdomen and middle back, completely relaxing every part of your abdomen, feeling your body just getting heavy and relaxed. As the wave of relaxation moves up into your chest and upper back, your shoulders, feeling any tension in your shoulders, just release and let go. And the wave goes into your hands now and up your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your upper arms, feeling your arms get heavy and relaxed. And feeling that wave going up into your neck, the front and back of your neck, and all through the middle. Every part of your neck is relaxing, releasing, feeling the wave going up into your chin, your nose, your forehead, your scalp, your whole face and head are becoming completely relaxed. And just feeling this state of deep relaxation as your body is really heavy, and allowing any tension, any uncertainty to just release from your body in this moment. And from here, you're going to engage your imagination and imagine you're waking up in a world where you are in your ideal body and you are at your perfect relationship with food. You just have peace with food. You can make choices and it's easy for you, choices about what to eat, how to eat. You feel strong and energetic and fit and vibrant. And just noticing in this world, what do you choose to do and how do you move through your world? Maybe you're engaging in joyful movement that brings you joy and lights you up, feeling really fit and strong. Maybe it's a bike ride or yoga or dance or a vigorous hike, and you just feel so energetic and vibrant. Like nothing is holding you back. Just really feel into this reality. And really feel your muscles moving. You can see how you look in your most fit and vibrant body. And feel into your heart. How do you feel as you move through your world with nothing holding you back? You're just strong and fit and vibrant. And notice how easy it feels to flow through life. Notice how things that may have caused you stress in the past are now, you feel like you can just move through them easily. It's like you have this inner fitness, emotional fitness, as well as an outer fitness. Notice yourself moving through a situation that maybe would have felt a little stressful to you in the past, and see yourself meeting it with strength, balance, composure. What does that look like and what does that feel like? You have inner and outer strength and balance. Taking a few moments to feel that reality and see yourself moving through your world in this way. And now start to come back into the current moment. I'll count you down from 5 to 1. 5, noticing your heart, maybe placing your hands on your heart and feeling a connection with yourself in this moment. Knowing that what you saw in your vision is absolutely possible for you. 4, feeling your seat, your connection with wherever you're sitting or lying down. 3, noticing your arms, your hands, maybe moving your hands a little bit and your feet. 2, connecting with your breath in this moment. And 1, allowing your eyes to open if they're closed and coming fully into this moment. And welcome back. And as you come back from this visualization, you're going to consider your big, powerful why. Why do you want to be fit? Why do you want to have inner and outer strength and fitness? Why do you want to be healthy and energetic? Who will benefit in your life? Your family, your friends, maybe yourself? How will you feel as you move through your life? So we're going to take 3 minutes to write down anything that you want to write down from your visualization, and also thinking about your big, powerful why in this moment. Why do you want this reality? And why do you want it now? How is it going to change your life and impact your life? So I'll start a timer for 3 minutes. One minute left. Thirty more seconds. So just wrapping up your thoughts. Okay, that was our time. So before we move on to the next section, I want to share with you guys a little bit about my big, powerful why and what got me to make a change in my life. And if you've read my book, some of you are beta readers for my books, you will know about this. But there was a point actually last summer around May, June. I had tried for a long time to drop weight, and I wasn't having any success, even though I moved every day, even though I generally ate healthy. I was in perimenopause, and the hormones and in combination with insulin resistance, I've learned later, made it really hard for me to lose any weight. And I was just starting to feel like this is just my reality. I'm an emotional eater, and I just have to deal with this weight forever. And it just is what it is. And then something started happening when people were coming up to me and asking me um, when the due date is and saying they hope it's a girl. And I realized that because of the distension I was having, I have endometriosis and some gut issues. So I was having distension, and that, along with the extra weight, made me look really pregnant, even though I didn't feel that way. And I was having to deal with these questions almost everywhere I went. Our like designer that we hired to help us with the house, she asked me about my due date. I went to a retreat and I was asked if I was one of the moms that was, part of a study or something like that. And it was just happening everywhere. And I realized in myself that I I hate that. I don't want to have people assuming that I'm pregnant everywhere I go. I have big dreams for my life, and that was kind of the catalyst that led me to um really dig deep and find my path forward to healing and to releasing weight. And yeah, so that was my stimulus. Um for some people, it's being able to play with their kids or grandkids and be more energetic, or being able to go on hikes they really want to go on. Um, my husband, he recently had his big, powerful why when he's going to be meeting his friends for an event, and he has a tuxedo that he really wants to wear, and he couldn't quite fit into it at the weight that he is. Um, and he doesn't want to buy another tuxedo. So he has made some huge changes in his life just over the past 2 weeks because he didn't want to buy another tuxedo and he really wants to fit in this tuxedo that he has. So it's very personal, your big, powerful why, what that looks like, what that feels like to you. Um, but it's something that kind of creates a fire in your belly where it just feels like you have to do something about this and this has to change no matter what. So if you don't have that yet, this is something you can keep working on, but it's going to really help you as you go through this process to think about what is that reason for you that you're ready to make a change in your life. You might have to dig deep on this and we'll keep coming back to it. But that's the big powerful why. So, we're starting to wrap up this very first session. Um, and for your homework for this next week, um, I want you to spend a few minutes every day. I find it easiest in the morning and the evening, in the morning when I wake up, and the evening before I go to bed, to just visualize that reality that you want to create in your life, how you want to move, how you want to feel. Um, that inner and outer fitness, feeling strong, energetic, lean, whatever that is for you. Spending time daily visualizing it. And maybe it's morning and evening, or maybe you have a time in the middle of your day when you can just take 10 minutes and sit and visualize or lie down. Um, Putting more energy into your ideal reality, the reality that you want to create, to start to balance out um, your energy, because we all tend to put a lot of energy into our stories of why we can't change, or at least I used to, and maybe some of you do this too, a lot of energy into, oh, this is just how it is, or I can't change this, I've tried so many things. We put a lot of energy into these stories. So we're shifting where we put our energy and putting more energy into the ideal reality we want to create, putting more energy into the future we are building as we go through this program. And then the second homework is starting a food and mood journal, um, which is um, basically just writing down what you're eating and how you're feeling in that moment. And I will send you all a video that talks more about it. Um, we're not changing any food this week. You're just going to start to track your data of when you're eating, what you're eating, and no judgment here. This is just writing it down like an objective scientist. You're just learning about yourself and your patterns. Um, Whatever it is, just write it down. For example, like if breakfast is um a bowl of cereal, and then maybe you have a few nuts afterwards, you would just write that down, and you might write feeling um, calm and peaceful as I start my day, or feeling anxious about a meeting coming up. Whatever it is, you're just writing down your food and your mood. So that's it for our presentation.